Welcome back to DHN. I'm Wade Teamer. Stellar's looking good over the last 24 hours. We're sitting up about 1.79%. I honestly don't expect it to last long. The rest of the market is getting ready to fall. It's May, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody chooses to sell and walk away for whatever reason. Hopefully things end a lot better than they're beginning this month. But to start this month, we have a report from the Stellar Development Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, Q1 is now in the books, and SDF has published another quarter in review. And I love reading these because we also get a chance to dive into stories and developments that we may have missed. I know me personally, I was on a 2-month hiatus. Those 2 months took up the majority of Q1, so I missed a little bit. So we're going to take this opportunity, go over some stellar stats, as well as some developments and stories that took place that we may have missed. So right here, you see where we're going to start. Smart contracts are on Stellar. Now, if you've been a long time viewer, listener, you know how I feel about smart contracts. As smart as they are not common, and they should be. Projects like Flare Network are working towards making smart contracts universal. Stellar introduce smart contracts through Soraband. Now, what this is going to allow for is just enhanced functionality of what they can already do. Smart contracts are simply if-then type of arrangements. So if I send you such and such amount, then the smart contract will send you that amount. There's no need for a person in the middle. That's the power of smart contracts. So any asset, any chain that incorporates smart contracts are the ones that are going to bring the most value because their functionality dramatically goes up. All right. It's the reason why we're able to see a real world asset supply of 533 million. It's the reason why Stellar Community Fund has awarded more than 3.2 million in XLM for projects and applications to come to the network. So everything's been quiet up until now, but I'm telling you, as someone who has been in this space going on a decade, this is the most advancement I've seen in a long time. Now over here we have Open Systems and Financial Inclusion, SDF's Treasury response. So a few weeks ago, well, last month actually, March per se, the U.S. Department of Treasury was looking for information from fintechs in the United States in regards to financial inclusion. What ways could we introduce financial inclusion into the U.S. economy? When they say financial inclusion, they're pretty much talking about equal access to financial services for everyone. We're not going to get into the conversation of how banks in the past have treated certain communities. All of that is pretty much over, thanks to the introduction of open source technologies like Stellar. Now, essentially what they did in this response was explain their position on how to advance financial inclusion. And they believe that access to formal financial systems such as bank accounts is crucial for individuals, households, and small businesses to participate in the increasingly digital economy and unlock advanced services like savings and lending. The more I read about this stuff, ladies and gentlemen, the more I realize that this technology could very well usher in a golden age. And this is something that we've never seen before. And I think that's what has people so uneasy about it. It's like, you know, it's there, you're aware of it, but how we get to the point of the golden age, that's where the anxiety lies. But I'm telling you, the more I read into this stuff, the more PDFs I look through, the more it confirms at some point, this greatest transfer of wealth will finish. All right. And it's going to be based on, according to PwC, these new essential 8 technologies. Now, this was mentioned in their report. There is an interview somewhere out here on the interwebs I need to locate, but the Stellar Development Foundation has been pretty busy. This week, the World Economic Forum is hosting talks. Brad Garlinghouse from Ripple, Jeremy Allaire from Circle, and Danielle Dixon have all been in attendance. These types of conferences where these people get to talk to each other, that's typically how relationships are formed afterwards. But notice what these 8 technologies are: AI, IoT, blockchain, VR, AR, advanced robotics, quantum computing, and neuromorphic computing, which I'm going to have to Google that later. However, we are aware of the rest of these: AI, Internet of Things, blockchain. It seems as though one is going to open the door for another. We know AI is already everywhere. That's going to make it easier to introduce blockchain, IoT, VR, and AR thanks to Meta and Nvidia and other companies. People are getting used to that. That's going to lead the way for advanced robotics. And then quantum computing and neuromorphic computing could very well lay over top of all of this. So PwC, major influence in both fintech, consumer products, supply chains. They've been around for almost 100 years. Yeah. And if this is where they see things heading, I think that it's worth paying attention to. Now, they don't mention Stellar specifically. Again, I have to look up the conference where everyone was talking just to hear what they say. But I do want to share with you where they feel that blockchain is going to have the biggest benefits. One, global payments. Blockchain's identity and value portability features maybe a game changer for cross-industry financial processes and transactions such as customer and commercial payments, global payroll, and treasury management. Asset tokenization. Number two, blockchain can facilitate the minting and exchange of digital representations of tangible assets, including investment funds, real estate, to more seamlessly create, transfer, and track assets throughout their life cycle. I'm going to drop a term on you right here. Circular economy. All right. Just look it up. Circular economy 2014, and it'll make everything that we see right now make a lot of sense. And then number three, of course, ESG, environmental social governance. That's your climate discussion. Technology and data governance. Number four, blockchain's fundamental feature of immutable records can help govern and instill stakeholder trust in other emerging technologies that are being increasingly adopted by business. That's going to be one heck of a ripple effect. But going back up to number one, financial processes and transactions such as customer and commercial payments, global payroll, and treasury management. Well, that's going to be very key. Let's go over to this here. Yellow Card in February introduced USDC on Stellar. Now, if you don't know, Yellow Card is a major payment provider in Africa. As a matter of fact, they're one of the largest and the only licensed stablecoin on and off ramp for the African continent. And in February, they incorporated Stellar Lumens into this application, their Yellow Pay. Now, before Stellar got involved, they were already running with USDT. As a matter of fact, it's written, on their site that USDT was powering the transactions. Not sure how that was working out, but now they have Stellar to do this. So much like when MoneyGram opened access to trade USDC on Stellar, and other companies like Coinbase incorporated USDC transfers on Stellar. What this does is provide YellowPay customers an alternative means to transfer the USDC. So right now they have Solana, they have Ethereum, and then the native USDT network. Now though, customers can take that USDC and instead of spending 25% of what they're looking to move on Ethereum, they can move their whole paycheck on Stellar and not have to worry about insane fees. So that's going to be very huge, and you can see how it ties into blockchain technology in action, one of those four pillars that PwC talked about. Now, something else that was brought up, treasury management. Real world tokenization has been all over the discussion leading into 2024. I would honestly say, I said 2023 was the year of the stablecoin. 2024 is the year of real world tokenization, the tokenization of real world assets. And one of the biggest players in that realm when it comes to Stellar is WisdomTree. Now, on March 22nd, they were granted a trust company charter by the New York State Department of Financial Services. This is important. I didn't understand how important before I got into crypto, but I realized that New York is very particular about their financial services. Makes sense. A lot of the leading financial entities kind of, they got their bases there. So they're very particular about who they let in and who they let do what. So this development is very important. WisdomTree now has received the go-ahead from the New York State Department of Financial services. This is going to allow WisdomTree to perform fiduciary custody of digital assets, including digital wallet services, to issue and exchange DFS approved stablecoins and manage stablecoin reserves under the newly formed entity WisdomTree Digital Trust LLC. WisdomTree joins only a few other digital asset trust companies with this charter. I believe Circle is one of the other ones, which is interesting, demonstrating its position at the helm of the industry's shift to blockchain-enabled financial services. Now, they just said that all of WisdomTree's digital funds will be permissible, tradable in the New York area. So, and under the DFS, under their guidance, which is pretty much recognized around the entire country. This is a list of all of their digital funds, and we've covered in the previous Stellar video that all of these have tokenized duplicates on Stellar. Now, I still have to find the documentation, but I'm pretty sure it's set up just like Franklin Templeton, where the transaction records are stored on Stellar as well as WisdomTree's own personal books. But here's something else interesting. Let's go back over here and let's get into this second paragraph. They state, initially, WisdomTree Digital Trust Company will provide products to customers as part of the WisdomTree Prime ecosystem. Specifically, WisdomTree Digital Trust Company will issue the WisdomTree Gold token and the WisdomTree Dollar token, available in WisdomTree Prime, and maintain reserves for those assets under a DFS-approved framework. The charter will also allow WisdomTree to offer New York retail customers access to WisdomTree Prime, set to be available in the coming weeks. Now, why is that so interesting to me? WisdomTree Gold. So, in a previous Stellar video, we were looking at some of the most powerful players within the ecosystem, especially when it comes to RWAs. And we discovered that, yeah, we know the digital funds, they're running on Stellar. But we were very interested in this gold offering. Okay, hopping over to Stellar Expert. Guys, when we looked at this chart, we didn't have this many holders. You see that little uptick right there? That's recent. Again, not major movement, but this development is opening the doors for major movement and is being supported by the DFS, one of the most recognized financial regulatory bodies in the country. Open source, WisdomTree using the open source technology of Stellar. If this performs well, then what's going to spread around is how WisdomTree was able to scale this so quickly. Somebody in WisdomTree is going to say, hey, we're using Stellar. Oh, really? I know about Stellar. I know somebody that, and that's how these things play out, ladies and gentlemen. So this is going to be big. I don't expect anything to play out right away. Like I've been telling you, and I'm going to keep telling you guys, at least for the next couple of weeks, expect a lot of volatility. I'm wholly expecting Bitcoin to continue its descent. That's going to push further pressure on the altcoins. We're going to be like this until the fall. This is what I've seen, especially the last halving. It's exactly how it went. In a typical bear market, like 2022, 2023, there were conditional events that pushed us further down. The halving, it's kind of mathematic. It's very interesting. Last story though we got for you, and this happened on March 20th, very special day. VNX launches first stablecoin pegged to the Swiss franc on the Stellar network. VNX, a company based in Liechtenstein, has issued the first stablecoin anchored to the Swiss franc on the Stellar network. Moreover, at the launch of the new stablecoin, VNX Swiss franc, it joins the VNX Euro. Both will be accessible on the crypto exchange Bitstamp. Now, this is the first of its kind being issued on Stellar, the Swiss franc. There's another version of a Euro coin on Stellar, but from VNX themselves, this is their first offering. Now, what's interesting is that, well, for one, VNX is registered with the Financial Market Authority of Liechtenstein under the law on blockchain. So they're covered in Europe. The thing is, though, there is an interesting position opened with this move, because something else that's going on right now in Europe is the finalization of MiCA. They are trying to decide what classifies as an e-money token, right? And the biggest part of the conversation centers around stablecoins. Well, News has leaked that OKX is removing USDT trading pairs from European users. The problem is really only of legal nature because there is new MiCA regulation coming into force this year. And from all of the information that has emerged, Tether is not, they don't seem to be passing. I'll just put it that way. And if that's the case, well, this not only opens the door for the VNX stablecoin and other stablecoins on Stellar, but Stellar's biggest stablecoin partner in the form of Circle can just, what's the word I'm looking for? Bum rush, blitzkrieg their way into the European market. That's why MiCA is very important. It's going to be very interesting, guys. It's something that I have been watching unfold since 2021, I believe. And I'll definitely keep you guys updated, because this is going to shake up the stablecoin market in a dramatic way. And as someone who has been in this space almost half a decade, I can tell you something. When stablecoins move, the markets move. So if stablecoins are facing pressure, there's less places to trade them, or, you know, there's a restriction or a hack or a depeg, you can pretty much guarantee the rest of the market it's not going to benefit. However, when there's an influx of stablecoin activity, then you know within 3 to 4 months, markets are going to be moving, and they're definitely going to be moving up. So with that, great to see all of the work and the development being done by Stellar in Q1 of 2024. Again, guys, prices are doing what they're doing. We're actually up another %. We've been recording this for about what 15 minutes? Okay. All right, like to see that. But if you're looking to buy some crypto, I'm using Uphold right now. Link to that'll be in the description. After I get that crypto from Uphold, I like to put it on my hardware wallet. That is the SafePal wallet. It's one of our channel partners. So yes, if you use the link down in the description, I will get compensated. I want to thank you in advance. With that, let's get to the best part. If that money is digital, so is the hustle.